the hell happened here? Ah, shit. It seems a little bit better. Give me a sec. Yeah. Alrighty. Next, my friend. We finally got each other. What's up, buddy? You good? Give me just 1 second here. I need to fix one thing. Just need to set this up so I can locally use this dependency. So if I go to the actual, where did I do this? AGV form, right? Yes. I go with this and try doing. Play one game, my friend. Good evening. Good to see you, man. Give me 1 second. AGV form Louis GUI, right? So RM, RF node modules, RM package, RM lock, PMPM. Let's just make sure that I mean, I don't need. I'm not. Well, hopefully my stream will not put you to even worse, worse spot. So I'm not sure if my stream is the best thing you can do if you're trying to get better. But I hope so. So be careful where you are right now, okay? Dune, my friend, good evening. Just give me a second. So how the hell do I link this thing again? So this, I'm trying to... I don't know, it's always so, like... I should have written it down the last time. Wait, so... Sorry, my bad. So... Wait, storybook. 50-meter UTP cable. Nice, nice. Okay, just bear with me, fellas, for a moment. I need to make sure that we can develop here. So I need to... trying to link my local package that we're developing to my local storybook. And I have a feeling that I did do that here. So I'm in Louis GUI. I have the AJV form pointing to the actual folder on my computer. Yeah, so that's correct. So why are you not printing anything? Is there something that I gotta do? I have this console here. I would expect it to kind of work, right? But it doesn't. So what am I missing? What am I missing? So wait a minute. So this is my Louis GUI. This is my AJV form. Maybe this is what I have to link. AJV form, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Come on, man. Yeah, that's a little bit weird, right? All right, I would expect it to work. I just want us to finalize some of this work today, and I'm just trying to. But I genuinely forgot what I actually did. So wait a minute. So we create a. So if we go to this fella, so this we want to make sure that this fella is exposed globally, I guess. Or local. I don't actually remember. Wait, global. PMP link global use AJV. Can I do this? So I expose this globally. I don't actually know. So this guy now here, let's just rerun this. This guy should now have a link to that local repository, right? I don't think it does though, right? And then here, let's say PMPMI. All right, doesn't matter if it's just like it's going to be very difficult for us to debug things if this thing doesn't work, right? And here we are. What if I say pnpm build? I don't think that should change anything, honestly, but either way, oops, no. Unknown key, so that's correct. So that's actually pretty good. Yeah, that's correct. It should be unknown. Rebecca, good evening, friend. Just give me 1 second here. Secure string. No. So in this project now, we actually don't have a secure string anymore, and that's correct. So I should, in fact, remove this. And that should work again. We don't have the snow yet here in Copenhagen, but it's pretty cold. I felt it this morning when I was biking to work, and when I was biking back home. It's definitely very cold today. So that should be gone now. Just give me 2 seconds here. Yeah, so we're running tests here. Wait, so we're running the dev server here, yes. Oh, did someone die because of the music? Is that is that the why? No, nobody has died yet. There's 10 centimeters of snow. I see. What are we doing wrong, fellas? Yeah, I mean, I don't want to put you to sleep for sure, right? Let me try to find something less sleepy, but still sleepy, right? No, let's go with this. This is kind of dramatic. Yeah, I can't, man. I'm streaming on YouTube now as well, and every fucking time when I play music that I want, they just remove the video. And you know, it helps us to at least reach out some people on YouTube. So that's the shitty thing, man. It's not that I'm enjoying this music, but the penalty is huge, and I can't. I don't have the software that excludes that track from YouTube, and I don't want to pay, you know, $20-30. That would be the whole fucking monthly Twitch thing, just for a shitty streaming software, right? I mean, I don't care about money. It's really about principles. I don't wanna. It's not valuable to pay for, right? Time to make another software. Who knows? Maybe we should. Okay, so bear with me for a moment, because this linking doesn't work, and that really sucks ass, because we can't really develop this and finalize this thing without this working. So what are we doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? So wait, so here in this Louis GUI in our storybook, so here we want to use the link, the local dependency, right? So if I go here, I am already pointing to it here. Programmer network, use AGV form, blah, blah, blah. So, so why is that not working is kind of strange. Let's see. Yeah, it's a little bit weird. I think it should kind of work now, right? But it doesn't. But it should. But it doesn't. And do we have some console statements here? We have the dev server running here. We do have the dev server running, so that's fine. So I would expect us to see those logs, but we don't. So why? This also seems correct. So it's only thing I can think about is that our link isn't correct, right? So I don't remember. Oh, should I say npm link maybe? Wait. No, I don't think it matters, right? No, so to the defense, no, I mean, not at all. This has nothing to, so that's not what we're trying to do. No, I don't think Numinix does the problem. No, not at all, actually. It's just that I don't genuinely, it's the competence problem. I forgot the link command, like what does it take, right? So it's more incompetence rather than anything else. So wait, pnpm link, this is how you link it locally. This is how you link it globally. Yeah, I mean, mostly. So right, so when I link it here, I suppose I should do it like this, right? So file, I don't, or I mean, we could try saying something like file, right? Wait. Right, we can try something like this, but I don't think so, right? I think robot can help. It's just I don't want to, this is such a huge waste of time, right? No, I don't know that for the music. I should probably check it out for sure. Okay, let's ask the robot. Let's ask the robot very quickly, just so we can actually, I really want to finalize this and move back building programmer network features and improving that stuff. Okay, I have a local GitHub repository that I want to link as a dependency in another repository. I'm using pnpm. What I tried so far is running pnpm link dot in the repository that I want to link. Then I used that absolute path in the project as a dependency. Let's just give it this what we did, so it can maybe help us very quickly to move away from this dead end, right? And let me drink water. I mean, look, I'm not gonna be a smartass, even though of course I will. But I think I don't think. No, I have to disagree with that. My experience with the storybook hasn't been that bad, right? Sako, I thought about you yesterday, man. Are you back? What's happening? Oh, and here's the big shot. My second most a hype train. What the fuck is a hype train, and who did that? Sako in the big shot. I love you guys. Somebody started something called hype train. I don't actually know what that is, but whatever it is sounds hype train started. Okay, wow, I'm so hyped, like I'm shaking in hypeness right now. Stop it, guys. Okay, cool. Oh, it's automatic. My good friends, ah man, sorry to hear that, dude. Seriously, sorry to hear that, man. You guys, if you're back now, we should hang out soon, whenever you guys can. So this is a symbolic link indeed. So this is a symbolic link. So weird. Yeah, and I'm also interested to hear about your job experience if you know, if you find anything, whatever. Come on, man, like I didn't anticipate that we're gonna be wasting time on this, man. It's seriously, this is a little bit frustrating because shit, man. Sorry to hear that. Let's discuss it as well. All right, someone help me with this. Someone Google with me, because why are we not linking properly? In the local repository, use AJV form, navigate to the root directory, Run npm global. This will create a use npm link global to link to the global symlink to your project. This should import the nodes using file is viable option. It might create issues when project is. Let's discuss that. Maybe that's also a little bit of a problem, that you don't lie, right? But let's discuss that when we sit. I suspect that could be an issue. I suspect that also could be an issue. Give me a second here. Let's go here. I really want us. I have few things on the list that I want us to do today. Where's our use AJV form? It's here. What is the version currently? It's version 03, right? Okay. So let's do that and try to link it then. Fuck. How do we link? Yeah. All right, wait. Where is this? Yeah, so RM, RF node modules, RM lock. Let's because what ChatGPT is suggesting, but I don't think that's correct. I don't think you can do this, right? Yeah, let's go back and forth. Maybe this is also a discrepancy inside of the with PMPM, right? Maybe PMPM and MPM work different, right? I think this only can mean that here we actually have to specify the actual path to the repository, meaning, right, file this and then maybe if we run this, nah, fuck. All right, and let me actually try once more. All right, let's try that again. But I don't think shit, man. Wait, what does it say? Okay, that's fine. Okay, so I mean this is a little bit weird. So, but let's try. It's almost as if works. Ah, shit! I think I know. Wait. I think I have to. Yeah, maybe. Nah, I'm not quite sure. Wait. No, not really. No. Shit, man. Oh my god, man, come on. Like, why? Why are you? Because I swear to god I didn't make it work. Like, I should have just committed that, right? I should have committed it because I need to... Maybe this? Okay, it did something. Ah, shit. Sorry. I want to publish. Yeah, and sure, why not? I mean, publishing anything would be great. So should I do now PMPMI again? It's so confusing, man. Why is this so difficult? Like linking a freaking package, man. Johansson Dev, good evening, my friend. How are you? You can't add images. Yeah, because I'm still thinking about it. I'm still thinking if I should, because I'm afraid that things are gonna get very spammy there very quickly. So I'm not actually. All right, let's because the thing is, the reason why we need to link this is because it's so annoying, man, because we need our storybook so we can test the hook and stuff, right? So we can use it also manually, right? So that's why we need this to work. It's kind of, yeah, really annoying. And I don't know what the hell to do, right? No, I don't think that I don't think that we're supporting the image thing right now there. That's the problem. I need to check that. We should maybe just allow images in thoughts. And that's why I'm trying today that we finish this freaking thing, but wait a minute. Network GUI, where is it? Program, where is our module that we installed? Yeah, the only thing I can think about now, obviously, is that, what was it? We say maybe something like this, right? Maybe. Barcode, my friend, good evening, good to have you, man. How are you doing? Please work, come on. Come on, man. Corona is still a thing, Jesus Christ, man. I have to work from home. Yeah, I mean, try to make it enjoyable. What can you do? What can you do? So does anyone know how the hell do we link a package, man? How can this be that hard, really? I don't get it. Can that be so hard? I don't genuinely, it gets a little bit frustrating because something so stupid. Let's read this together. No, but I had it working like 2 days ago in a stream. It's just... So yeah, so this is literally what we have to do, right? No, yeah, Sako, maybe, but wait. So right now we are in use AJV form, right? And I want to link this guy globally. PMPM link -- global, right? That's one thing. So I want to link this globally, right? Right? I think this is it, right? I don't know what the hell is it doing. It's almost like it's installing the whole internet, right? All right, right? So we did that. Now we go to our storybook and we pretty much say what they're saying here. Do the same thing, but just provide a name. So we say global use AJV. Well, actually it's called programmer network use AJV form, right? We don't see shit. And I don't fucking get why, man. Because in here now, in our node modules, this programmer network should be a symlink, right? And as you can see, it is a symlink, in fact, right? It says symbolic link right there, right? What I don't see in there, though, is why... Okay, fine. There's a dist. That's okay, I guess. There might be something that I just remembered, actually. There might be something that I just remembered. And that could be that now when I'm developing locally, I have to point this to source index ts, and same here, source types ts. I think that's what I forgot doing. Yes, that's number one, I think, that I have to do. And now let's go in here. Wait a minute. src index ts, src utils types. Why the fuck is that inside of utils though? Access public, all right. And then if we go to this project, so annoying, man, unbelievable. And then here I have to say AJS code use AJV form. I just want to link a package. I just want to link a package, nothing else. Because I'm developing, we have few open source libraries. Oh, okay, here it is. Jesus Christ. All right, that's good. That's good. Wait, let's... so much pain. 15 minutes of pain. Okay, good. I think... yeah, there we go. So now we can... that's good. That's good. Awesome. All right, cool. Finally. Jesus. That's hard. Okay. Let's now go to our backlog. Let's just eat this banana very quickly. All right, cool. That is correct, Nominix, yes. But this time I'm gonna be smart and I'm gonna either stash it or commit it somewhere or whatever, right? Yeah. I'm sure there has to be a better way, but it's a competence type of thing. I just don't know. And I'm a little bit bothered to learn, right? The big shot. That's why you're following me for 14 months. Everybody knows that, right? It's clear. All right. So... Yeah, for sure. It's fine, right? That's why we have Git for. Okay, so listen up, guys. Listen up. So, for those of you who don't know what the hell we are doing past couple of days, I hope that you are watching my devlogs. So I started doing those devlogs, basically 5-6 minute videos. Yesterday I have recorded, I believe, the second one. So in general, if you're curious what I'm actually doing this week and what we did last week, take a look at that video. But now basically what we're doing, we're kind of finalizing this this hook that we this library of ours that I wrote for Programmer Network long ago, and I'm just open sourcing it, and we improved it a lot. We added more features to it and stuff like that. So this is what we're doing. Make sure to give it a star while you're there. Some suburbs. I might actually do that. I might do that, yes. All right, so we're gonna then be doing this. So there are a few things that I still want to do, and let's start today with the tests, right? So one of the things that I want to test, because I implemented this in the last stream, but I didn't test it, and I didn't try it yet, that was this called user-defined messages. And user-defined messages essentially enabled you to override some of the defaults that I have set for this library. So if we go into this get errors here, and then get error messages, you will notice that I have those default AJV messages. And I want to enable people to be able to say, well, actually, I don't give a shit about should not exceed this. I want to write my own message, right? And as you can see, you will have to provide a function for each custom thing and then use the data in there. So let's write a test for that because I don't know. Right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to, yeah, so I'm gonna actually grab one of the existing tests and we're gonna test it out. Should overwrite the existing error message by providing user-defined messages. Okay, so yeah, how do we do that? How did I do that so far? Well, here, this is where we instantiate use AJV form. Man, I love you guys. I love you guys. Thank you for coming, Sako. As you know, I always appreciate you, man. Thank you very much for coming. Okay, and say hi to your better half, dude. Let's do the min length actually, just as this. So this test should now be failing. Let's actually go. I will do, my friend. I will do, my friend. Good to see you again, dude. Good to see you again. Let's run the test. All right, so this test obviously now is failing. That's what we want. Well, it's failing also because this thing here should actually be a function and not, it's an AJV function, right? And this thing should be taking this data. And then let's just say, it doesn't really matter, let's just say monkey message or whatever. And then now we have the min length here, the validator there, so now we would expect that message to be overwritten by our own user-defined thing. And it actually did, wow, that was fast, okay. So I did implement it properly last stream, and as you can see, monkey message 1. So that's actually very good. So my implementation last stream actually worked. So, and it was very simple. Here I say, hey, this is the custom keywords. And then here I just have user-defined messages, which basically, yeah, if user passes it, it works. So actually that's great. Now, let's think of some other cases. Let's see if there's something else that we want to test here. So we'll get errors, user-defined messages. Yeah, get error message. So you can see here, I copy this object. Here I spread my own default messages that come with this library that we're building. And then we give the higher precedence to the actual custom messages if users passes them, right? Yeah, I don't know actually what else to test. This looks pretty good, honestly. So that's very good, actually. That's very good. So if we get actually over here, yeah, okay, great. So let's add a few more options here. So there are a few more things that I wanted to extend this library with. I think I wrote some notes when I wasn't coding and stuff. Add the debounce delay. Okay. So let's do it. Add option to disable debounce. So how did I want to call it? Auto validate. Let's actually no. Let's call it is debounce should debounce and validate, right? I think. What do you think? I think that's a good name, right? So, and we can set this to true, right, by default, right? So we're gonna say Boolean, but then, I mean, if that kind of contradicts it, right? So, and where's, so here we have the options. Yeah, so yeah. Can I actually say here like this, true? No, I can't, right? Because we're in the context of types, yeah. But I should be able to say, it doesn't matter. Okay, let's keep on going. So we have the options now. And where do I do validate field? So this is, I have the validate field. I have handle blur, right? But this is the blur thing, right? So we need to do the debounce thing. So this thing is should debounce and validate, right? So, well, no, that's no. So no. So let's just call this should debounce, right? Because validate should debounce and validate. Yeah, I think so. That's actually good. Okay. Now, the only thing that I currently dislike with this, right, is that, Joseph, thank you very much for the follow, buddy, is that, so I don't want actually this to be, so I want this to have a default value, right? Can I actually, can I do something like this and say should debounce and validate true as a default? And it's mainly because, yeah, because of this, right? Custom keywords, right? So we would have to kind of get rid of this. We would have to change the types as well, right? And then here we have to say errors null, custom keywords empty, user defined messages nothing, and then what does the errors empty string maybe what is the actual type of the errors? Or null, right? No, this is not, I don't, yeah, because options are actually not mandatory, right? So it's fine, right? So what I'm actually gonna do here, I have an idea, right? So if we actually go back down here, we can say if options should debounce and validate. Yeah, actually, let's do it like this. So and we have to actually be very explicit here. We only want to disable this if it's false. So right, so this is intentional. So we don't want to, so if it's undefined, we do want to validate because we want this to be a default. So you know, so you will have to explicitly disable this by providing false, right? So that is a very important semantic here, right? Because if we asked something like this, right, this wouldn't be accurate because this is not what we want. Because if it's not there, if it's saying basically, if it's you know, undefined, that's not what we want, right? So we will have to be very semantically specific here. If options should debounce is false, so user explicitly is disabling this option, then we don't want to call this validate, right? And I'm doing that very early here, right? So we have two if statements. Is that necessary? No. But what we could do though is we can say or this, right? Then return, and then we can do something like this, right? So if explicitly is disabled or this, right? Are tests still passing? Yeah, tests are still passing, right? debounce delay. Okay. So let's add that now as well. So let's get over here and say debounce time. Yeah. Let's call it debounce delay, right? Or the bounce time. Yeah. Yo, Dimitrivich, good evening, friends. How are you? And yeah, so what we're gonna do here, we'll say either this or 500 as a default, right? And obviously we have to say options dot this or 500, right? That's correct. We'll have to write a test for that now, right? And the way we can test this is fairly simple, right? It's fairly simple. And wait a minute, what did I think? Where is it? Yeah, this should be optional, and this should be optional as well. I think it's complaining pretty much about that. Yeah, okay. So now if we want to test this, what we can, it's fairly simple, right? So we only really need this thing, right? So what we can do is should use debounce time argument for the use debounce, right? So how do we do that, right? Very simple, as I said, right? We're gonna get here, we're gonna say options debounce time is 1000, and then here to this advanced timers by time, we have to ensure that it happens after 1 second, right? You can see that it passes if I do 1000 and if I do 999 milliseconds, it should fail, I guess. Or wait a minute, or vice versa. If I prematurely try to do this, then it should fail, right? If I say 999, it should still fail. If I say 1000, it should pass, right? So that is correct, right? Low invest, my friend. Thank you very much, dude. Thanks a lot, man. I hope you have a good time with us here as well. Should debounce and okay, so now we have to test this one. Should debounce and validate, right? And pretty much we're gonna find some test that relates to the debounce, right? Validates immediately on Blur. Do we have? Should? Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna grab this test. Listening while playing. Wow, nice, man. Should not validate and debounce if what did we call this property here? If should debounce and validate is set to false. Yes. So okay. So we do the same here. Should debounce. Shit. Should debounce and validate, right? Exactly. Okay. So let's see what we're doing. So should not validate in debounce if should is set to false. We set to false now. And now basically we're not expecting an error, right? So this should be empty strings. So in simple words now, right? Because we have disabled the debounce and we're not calling on Blur or anything. Basically we have set some state. We have waited half a second, which makes no sense in this context anymore. And the error is not there. So basically we can actually get rid of this thing. It's going to be the same. So the point here is now we've typed 2 characters, let's say, in an input, but we didn't run the validate. So that means that this is correct, right? So right, if I would set this to true, let's actually make sure of that. So wait, high, but yeah, this one is a little bit, then seems a little bit hard to test because even if I set this to true, I still have to trigger the validate, right? So how do we actually test this thing? The only thing I think we need to do is we need to spy on form.validate, right? So we need to do wait, not form, what did we call it? Result dot current dot. So what I would want to do now, I would have to somehow spy on this, right? So no, but that also doesn't make sense because actually it does make sense, right? Because we want to spy on this now and say, hey, is the validate being called? But I can actually see that it's not called already, because if it was, this would not be an empty string. Okay, we set this. I want to spy if this is being called. Let's actually give this to ChatGPT. I don't know very well this testing library API, right? So let's use our Jean-Code1 debug. And how do I spy on that function that I commented out and see if it's executed? I'm using vtest. Jean-Code1 debug. Yeah, but fuck, I don't want to be mocking, man. Shit. No, never mind. I trust this test already, okay? I trust it already. Yeah, I don't want to mock it. Yeah, but I for sure, I just thought that there's a little bit more magical way, right? It's a little bit too much, but for sure, no, definitely not doing that. Definitely not doing that. But anyway, I know that this test actually is valid, so it's just that we actually don't need this, right? All right, let's actually go to our storybook. Let's actually go here, right? And let's also make sure that that now actually works, right? So if I go to this big bad boy here, right, I can say should, well, this guy is a little bit dumb now. I don't think it's actually getting the latest, I hope that it's getting the latest changes, right? So if I actually get here and try to pass it this to here, right? Okay, now it understands it. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we actually open our form now and we play with our useAJV form, right? So you can see that actually it's not debouncing, right? So if I press the D character, it's not doing anything, right? If I set this to something else, whatever, now it should be debouncing it. And as you can see, it actually doing that. So we can see also in live that now if I do it, it's not actually gonna, right? Obviously on Blur is now working, and we should, quick question, we're planning to build a mobile app with my friends. That will be our first mobile app, and we plan to build it using Fast API, React, Native, and Mongo. I made my research, but I still don't know if it's a decent stack. Basically, the app shows image and test text and be able to record voice and play the recorded sound. I mean, you guys, as I always say, right, you have to be pragmatic. You should not think about the stack, because I just assume that you're relatively new. Based on knowing you, Louis, so you guys are relatively new to building products, so you should pick whatever is easier for you. So you should pick whatever you're the most comfortable with and focus on building it. If your focus is truly to just build something, then then just pick whatever you're the most comfortable with. And then, right, so what you're gonna use is irrelevant, right? MongoDB is a great database. It's very expensive. MongoDB Atlas is also very expensive. But yeah, generally it's a very good database for certain things, not for everything. If you need a lot of relations, if you need a model that's very relational, very connected, then you obviously don't want to use MongoDB. MongoDB is a flat collection type of document. It's a document database, right? And its biggest benefit is the lack of constraints, which is the biggest irony, because most people who use Mongo, they use Mongoose, which makes MongoDB opposite of what it actually is. So MongoDB is great for quick reads and writes and stuff like that, if that's what you need. What it's not great for is relational things, right? You don't want to use MongoDB to build a social platform. You don't want to use MongoDB to build a graph, right? Because it's completely opposite of those things, right? So if you, so I think Mongoose is fine, right? So you know what's the problem? Like the problem is that SQL databases have been out there for 30 years, right? When no SQL databases like MongoDB came out, all the people who were used to SQL databases, they transitioned that mentality naturally and logically to NoSQL databases, which was a mistake. And the Mongoose is one of these things that was literally brought up by that. You had people who had this SQL mental model in their heads and said, oh my God, well, right? Well, it is like that. Don't take me wrong. I mean, I've used Mongoose many times, right? I've used Mongoose many times. It's a great library, and it adds a lot of stuff to MongoDB. You know, you get validation, you get method chaining API. You know, get something by ID, deletes. So it's like an ORM in a way, right? But the difference between Mongoose and, let's say, SQLize in Postgres that I'm using and stuff is that SQLize doesn't make my SQL database some other type of database. It just simplifies the queries and generation of it. Mongoose whatsoever changes the way that you look at MongoDB. You now start thinking about populations, like how do I populate documents? How do I reference them, right? And it enforces schema, right? Which is the completely opposite of what MongoDB sells. MongoDB is a schemaless database. So one document can have 15 fields, another one of the same collection can have 5 fields, right? In SQL, that's completely opposite. In SQL, you have constraints, and you know, this is a table, and this is how that table looks like, right? So Mongoose basically is a complete opposite of everything that MongoDB is, right? So the question then is, if you want to use Mongoose, why don't you just use SQL, right? Because you want tables, you want constraints, you want validation. That SQL gives you that for free. That's what constraints are, right? That's why when you create a table, you say this table is of type X, Y, Z. This table has this length, right? So if you are using Mongoose, then probably you should be using SQL, right? Exactly, Numinix. But so all of these databases are amazing. Don't take me wrong; they all have their own use. The point is that we are taking something that's inherently opposite of SQL and trying to make it SQL. So then the question is, why are you not just using SQL, right? If you don't need schemaless, if your super quick reads and writes are not the core of your product, if you need relations, then use SQL. It's so much cheaper, and it's, I mean, come on, it's a 30 years old database. Use Postgres or MySQL or whatever. So that's literally how it is. I think the problem with MongoDB is so the reason why MongoDB, I remember, I mean, when MongoDB came out, I literally used it when it was in alpha. This was maybe 12 to 15 years ago. I literally used MongoDB when it came out. And one thing I remember, I was sitting in Sweden with my friend, we're sitting in Helsingborg, and I tell him, you know what I told him? I said, do you know why this database is gonna be popular? In some sense of a way. And he asked why. I said, because it's all REPL is written in JavaScript. Because MongoDB is not used by web developers because of any concrete reason other than it's all REPL is written in JavaScript, right? So it's very easy for people to write. It's not just that, all the documents are represented as JSON, so it's very natural for the JavaScript language. So I think the main reason why it actually got popular is because it's literally made the whole interface, the way that you interface with MongoDB is through JavaScript, right? And that's why it kind of got so popular. It's kind of funny. I think ORM is very important. I think ORM is very important, at least for the RESTful APIs, because your RESTful API really is the repetition of the same thing for the 90% of the time. So your REST API really is 90% of the same code with different names, different tables, and not using an ORM for this, even though of course ORM is obviously an abstraction which introduces some slight performance degradation. You have to now make a logical question and say, what is the more important for us? Productivity, maintainability, ease of use, developer experience, or this 5 or 10% performance. If you have some queries that really have to be super performant, you can always execute those as raw queries. You don't need to use ORM. But for the most CRUD operations there, not using an ORM or some sort of a query builder, like for example in JavaScript world, you could use nodejs. If you don't want to go full, if you don't want to go full ORM, right? So at the very least, you want to prevent SQL injections, which means if you're not using any of these tools, you have to write some logic that ensures that you sanitize things, because SQL injections are a very serious problem, right? And a lot of these popular libraries, like even this very simple thing like nodejs, even those things are very well built and maintained against all of the injection type of attacks and all various other things. Do they add a bit of performance degradation? Yes, but this is only if you assume that the code that you would write wouldn't add that performance degradation, right? Because you will never, even if you don't use an ORM, you will never just write plain SQL. You still have to write some functions that ensure that when that SQL is executed, that it's safely executed, right? Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm with you, Numinix. There's so much bullshit, absolutely. I mean, JavaScript world is notorious for making inherently simple things complex, because you have a lot of those hipsters who don't actually like building products. They think that writing complex code makes them somehow cool, right? Which is quite the opposite. It makes you super stupid and dumb, right? But I'm with you, right? For sure, like, I don't think that anyone is as good in the whole industry at overcomplicating things as we are. There's absolutely no question about that, right? Okay, is valid. All right, cool. Like your YouTube videos. Thank you very much, man. I have a lot of plans now for YouTube. I want to record some courses and stuff. Work has been very tough past couple of weeks. Keep in mind, Luin, so please keep in mind, everything I said is not to compare the databases at all. It's to say that both of them have their uses. So always consider this. So I love MongoDB. I mean, I recently been talking to those guys. They gifted me this bottle. You can actually see it's a MongoDB bottle. I met the MongoDB team in Stockholm maybe a month ago, and they gave me this thing. So by no means they're a great company. They have a great technology. They're super cool, but again, it's just every database and every tool has its own application and the problem that it solves, right? And the only issue I have in MongoDB is very expensive to host. Even when you host it on GCP, AWS, Azure, even in these instances, Postgres is like, I don't know, 20 times cheaper. So it's so much cheaper, right? So just consider that. If you guys are not well financially right now, consider that, because MongoDB is going to be your greatest cost. Your greatest cost, for sure. 100%, without a doubt. All right, cool. So what's next? So let's introduce, I think, two more things we need. We need is valid, and we need I think I'm gonna actually call this set field. And then we're gonna need a method called set fields. And the reason why we need both is because we can't debounce set fields, but I need to provide a way for people to set multiple fields and state at once. So for example, actually, what would be the reason of that? Why would you ever want to set no, actually, I'm not gonna do that. No, okay, it's just talking to myself, invalidating myself, that's great. Is valid, we definitely need. We have is dirty, and how am I doing that right now? Give me a second. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. All right, so you know what? Dimitri on YouTube. Good evening, buddy. Okay, so let's actually just give this whole thing to ChatGPT just so it can speed it up, so we can finalize this and write a README file for it. So let's just say here, just like is dirty implements an additional field called is valid that will be determined by if there are currently any errors or not. What else did I write in here? Give me a second. This is a very good question so we're gonna discuss that in a moment. Let's see what ChatGPT, actually let's start calling in Jean-Code Van Debug is form valid. Yeah, exactly, right? Exactly, I like this a lot. I think this is super good. I like this a lot, definitely. Okay, beautiful. How come? I mean, I think you're probably Romanian as well. I have a lot of Romanian friends. You might not be Romanian, I'm sorry if I missed it, but I know, I mean, I've been working with literally more than 100 different nations. I met many Dimitrius and stuff like that, so you're either... When last time you write a question? Last time I wrote a question on Stack Overflow was 8 years ago, I think. I have a lot of Romanian friends, so my designer in my team, he's Romanian. I love Romanians. One of my favorite people, to be very frank with you. Super good people. Moldova, yeah. Romania, Moldova, yeah, exactly. There you go. You see, I nailed it. Yeah. I have a lot of Romanian friends. Naturally, I'm also from the Balkans, right? So we get along very well. I'm Serbian originally, right? So I mean, I haven't been living there for a long time, but we get each other jokes. We have a very dark history, so obviously, naturally, we then based on that, we have a very similar humor as well, right? Yeah. We're equally fucked up in the head, if I can put it that way. In a good way. Is form dirty? Cannot access this form valid before initialization. I see what happened here. Okay, no problem. Okay. I mean, dude, Alex, I mean, you already know the response to that. Come on. I mean, of course, right? Okay. I mean, right? All right, I think we're almost there with this one. Yeah. When I was at Airthing maybe 5-6 years ago, my manager was Romanian, Alice, and he's the best manager I had in my entire life. Then I had Elvis. You saw this guy here a couple of days ago in my stream. He's also Romanian, one of the best engineers I met. So yeah, you guys are everywhere. It's hard to get rid of you Romanians, man. It's hard to get rid of you. You guys are like all over the place. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Give me a break. Dude, we are going to Balkans for the holidays in December, at the end of December. I feel you, man. The alcohol there is so... No, this is not correct. So this test is stupid. So this should be true. Initial data this. Yeah, I see what this did, right? I see what this did. So I mean, ChatGPT isn't dumb. It assumed certain things, right? What it didn't do whatsoever, right? What it didn't do, it didn't say result.currents.validate, right? Which is why it got confused, right? So wait, so we have this, we have empty title here. We run the validate. Ah, shit, we run the validate here. No, I mean, it's my problem. I didn't, right. So what Jean Code 1 debug didn't understand is that, look, it started, I fully understand why it did this. So it's actually super clever. Initial data is empty string, right? So what it then expected initially is that by default, because empty state is wrong relative to this validator, it thought that the state is going to be invalid. But what it didn't realize is that you have to run the validate, right? So it actually did correct. I mean, I don't blame it. MK showed, thank you very much, buddy. Right? So now when we run the validate, we expect it to be false. Then we run on blur, right? Now we actually do this. And now we do this, and it should be passing, right? There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Did you notice any decline in the quality of ChatGPT in the last... Actually, you're the second person who asking me this, Alex. First person was play one game 2 days ago in the stream when I streamed for the last time, and I think we got lazier, not ChatGPT. I think if you observe your own patterns with it, then see if it's you who got lazier in asking the right questions, like taking 1 minute to compose the actual, to prime it properly, or if you got more demanding from it. Because I think if you were to be honest, all of us with ourselves, I think we became way more demanding of ChatGPT lately. I can see patterns on myself. I don't even ask a question properly anymore, and I get mad when it doesn't give me the right answer instantly, right? Now, is OpenAI team trying to... No, genuinely, I mean, I'm just, I have to be honest, right? That's the premise of this whole stream. Now, is OpenAI team, right, trying to optimize the cost? Absolutely, 100%. 100%. There's no question, there's not a single question about that. Yurko, my friend, good evening. So is OpenAI team doing something to reduce the cost, improve those large language models, reference things better? Absolutely, and they should be doing that because it's in the consumer's interest that those large language models eventually are so cheap to run. So not just cheap to run like money-wise on their servers, but it's cheap to run on your own phone, on your own Alexa, whatever. So for sure, right? Exactly. But I think fundamentally it's in human nature. Like, let's all accept it. I think to a degree it is factual. We already embraced the ChatGPT, Bard and stuff, and we are now becoming lazy by nature because nature of a human being is lazy, right? We are constantly trying to optimize our lives so we can do less work. I mean, this is literally fundamentally whatever human. I think that most humans, if they didn't have to, most of us would just lay on the couch every day and play video games, right? So in that sense, taking that consideration, at least, I think that's at least to some degree true what I just said. I think it's fair to assume that we also got lazier. Would give it. I mean, I don't know if I have some example here, but. I mean, they're coming. So generative AIs are coming, definitely. Alex, there's no question about that. They're coming. Yeah, for sure. I mean, so smaller models, more specialized models are coming. I have built one with my colleague at work in a hackathon a couple of weeks ago. So for sure, right? Yeah, absolutely. So I've been to, we go very often here to the Google office here in Copenhagen. We're now at this point, almost every month there's some event that we go attend, and we have a lot of opportunity firsthand to see, the advances on Google side with Bard, the Vertex AI and stuff. And for sure, I can tell you what's happening right now, what Google is doing. Google is really focusing on small generative models, specialized in certain things, etc., right? I get demotivated when I don't understand things. I also feel overwhelmed when I see that I have to learn so many things in which we get me stuck. You have to change your mentality. I get you. I sympathize even with you to a certain degree. But what can you do? I mean, you have to. I mean, I don't. So Chemical 93. I don't think that. I think that great things take time, man. That's just how it is. I mean, you have to be humble, not just with yourself. You have to be humble with others as well. Learning anything on a good level takes time and effort, and take it day by day and focus on yourself, and that's it, right? Yeah, Bard is pretty bad. But I think OpenAI is way ahead for sure. I agree with you 1,000,000%, because we used Bard in the hackathon at Dream Data Cup. But that's what it is, man. I mean, again, programming is hard. Getting professional in anything is hard. Actually, okay, let me reverse that. For me, from my mentality, personally, I don't approach anything in life as hard. I don't, in fact, think that anything in life, other than existential things, war, debt, poverty, other than that, nothing is really hard. Now, you have two types of people. You have people that consider everything hard and they complain, and you have people who are simply doing what they have to do day by day, focusing on themselves, focusing on bettering themselves every day compared to how they were a day before. So when I say, actually, I'm sorry, I have to pull that back. Nothing is really hard. And everything is hard, depending who you ask. So you have to approach life in a different way, and nothing is going to be hard, right? But you have to create a perception in your head of things. So it's good to sometimes see some other people, how they live, what they do. It's good to see this, right? Nominex, my friend. Have a great one, dude. I love you. Thank you for coming by. So our tests are passing. Do we need to test anything? So what else did I provide? A method that can set multiple properties at once? No, we're not going to do that. No, but you get what I mean. Nothing is hard and everything is hard. It's a binary thing, depending who you ask. You have people that consider everything hard and they're seeking things so they can complain about them. Then you have the people who are just accepting that life isn't linear, right? Right, you get what I mean? Because life isn't linear. Nothing in life is just straight line. It fluctuates, right? It goes up and down. And that's why it's beautiful. That's why life is beautiful, because you face new challenges and you solve them as they come. You don't complain about them. You don't bitch about them. You solve them, right? You don't ask, why is it like that? Or you don't say it's not fair. It's like, life is not fair, right? You just, as things come in, you solve them, right? Because there's no other way anyway. You can complain about things as long as you want, but they're not gonna solve themselves, right? So if you wanna be a programmer, you're gonna sit warm your ass and your chair and do the work. Complaining about it won't make you develop, right? It's just gonna prolong your complaints. That's how it works. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, Google is going to be in a bad spot in certain ways, right? Because without tracking, Google business model is a little bit messed up. But okay, so this is amazing. So we did all of this. Do we actually need anything else is the question, right? So let's actually go ahead now to our storybook here, where we are actually linking to this thing. And yeah, I'm just gonna put some random strings somewhere. So I'm just gonna grab this just so we can test all of this. And here I'm gonna say, yeah, form dot is valid, and hopefully we're gonna get, we'll just say it like this, right? Who cares? Yeah, I mean, that doesn't seem correct though. Let's see, why does it say that it's by default invalid? That doesn't seem like the correct state. Oh, sorry, is valid. Yeah, no, all good. If it's invalid, let's just say here, class name, text the rows 500. I fucking hate you guys. That's beautiful. Okay, invalid, great. So let's just keep this because we need it as a sort of a test, right? So invalid form. Great, so we can see that technically this things gives us what we actually want, right? That's a little bit weird, like text ping 600, okay. All right, invalid form, okay. So we're gonna keep that there. Let me just see one thing quickly. I guess I could smack this bad boy here, right? Yeah, exactly, right. Okay, so we're just gonna keep that as a reference in this storybook so we can see what actually we have on our disposal. Okay, so that's amazing. I love this. Really, I think we did a very good work. Things are super clean. Code is super nice. We need to now basically, and that's what I'm gonna use ChatGPT the most for. So let's, okay, so let's do the, I think for now, last thing, and we're gonna call it now and say this is actually done, and we can start using it in programming network until we, so I'm gonna give it this, I'm gonna give it the types. So I have finally finished the current implementation of my hook. I have added some extra options to use AJV form as this is naturally an open source library. I have to update my README to explain what each of the options do and how to use this custom hook. Given my current README, just we can do this, update it with explaining what the options do in a tabular markdown way, and any other useful information such is how to use the hook. Let's see what it does. And I need to prime my LLM. Yeah, of course it is. Yes, this is my own LLM. This is my own kind of. This is Jean-Code 1 debug, as you can see. Basically, I can maybe share it with you. You can use my own. I use everything. Yes, I use Copilot. I use everything that exists. Yes, absolutely. And so nice. Jesus Christ, I think you did a great job. Wait, where did it give me the response? Here. Beautiful. So nice. Okay. Here's a suggestion. How do I copy this crap? Let's just adjust it. I don't think that they're comparable. They serve different purposes, right? Copilot is mainly used for code, right? So I don't think that necessarily you can compare those two, right? $25 gold, my friend. Good evening. Ah, shit. Wait a minute. Okay. So nice. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they are hard to scale. Indeed, yes. Indeed. Okay, so, and there are a few changes I'm gonna make here. One of the changes is that I'm gonna link to Yale. So instead of hard coding the examples there, I'm gonna send people to this. So that's one thing that I dislike about this README. So I'm actually gonna side of our Yale storybook. Right, so we're gonna do something like this. We're gonna get rid of this crap. Right, let's take a look at that. This could also be your custom error messages for validation errors. Beautiful, should debounce, beautiful. Debounce timer, time millisecond for debounce validation. Ignored if set to false. Okay, here's a basic example of using this. Max is asking, what is your opinion to have functions in the database? I mean, absolutely not. Whenever you can, you should avoid using any code in your SQL, right? And I'm not saying this out of my ass. We have a huge data science team at Dream Data where I work. When I see some of that code and that logic which is being executed in SQL, I want to vomit. Code should be used for what code does best, business logic and making things maintainable and stuff. Ideally, you want to use SQL to query data and stuff like that. Are functions sometimes almost necessary? Yes. Are they useful to at least exist? Yes. But if you can avoid them, you should avoid it, for sure. And I'm not even talking about performance. I'm not talking about any of that. That's not even the point. Are the functions performant or not, whatever, that's not even the point. There's one exception though. It depends who should own this code. So for example, if that SQL that you're talking about is owned by your data team, meaning you have a clear separation in your teams who does what, and if it's maintained by them, and you never have to touch it, then it's fine, you don't care. But if you as a developer want to put functions inside of SQL, you should, because you have your API, and your API should be executing functions, right? Yeah, I mean, again, there, as you can see, there's several segments to it, right? So there's the ownership, who owns that code, because again, if you have some microservice that's owned by a data team, like they're just maintaining the queries and whatever, then it's fine. But again, right? But are there some exceptions to these rules? Absolutely. And main reason why I'm telling you this genuinely, most genuinely, as always, if I didn't know, I would just say, I don't know. But I've seen so much, yeah, I've seen so many complexities by writing code inside of SQL, Postgres especially, that it just makes things very difficult to reason about. For example, in BigQuery, in GCP, in Google Cloud Platform, in BigQuery, you have this thing called procedural language. And this is the worst thing. This is even worse than functions, right? So this looks like a programming language that has been, so look how procedural language, for example, looks like. You can do this in BigQuery, in a data warehouse. Declare target word as default. So you can see, so BigQuery has went a few steps ahead and made this complexity, right? Which, again, I'm not talking about performance and any of that. That's not even important, right? The main point is how is the developer experience, and seeing this code inside of SQL doesn't give me a peace of mind, right? Is this sometimes whatsoever necessary? Sure. Can it solve some problems? Absolutely. But should always be avoided if possible. If you have a better way to do it, if you have an API, some programming language, that's what programming languages are great for programming. Database languages are great for databases, for querying and stuff like that, right? So sorry for a little bit longer answer. I just didn't want to give you a yes or no, but whenever you can write code, you should write code. And I think you're going to be happy with that for a long time. This is not a playlist, this is something I downloaded. Deep Programming Modern Vibe. Let's find it. Deep Programming Modern Vibe. My pleasure, man. It's a very good question. It's a very good question. I actually never got that question in the stream. And I've seen so much code being degraded by people doing crazy things because... So for example, I think just to link one thought relative to this, Max. For example, the reason why Golang is such a great language is because it doesn't introduce tools that people will abuse, right? what Postgres, for example, has done as a database, they introduced JSON B type, where you can now write schemaless MongoDB-like type of stuff. So every time you introduce those features into the language or a database, you have to assume that people will use it in the worst possible way. It's the same with object-oriented programming. Object-oriented programming, fundamentally, you could say as a pattern, is great if people didn't exist. But because we are people and we are human beings, we're gonna find ways to write horrible classes, horrible inheritance, and horrible models. So the problem is, like, you have to design these systems in mind where you have to assume that people will fail, and they're gonna fail more those tools allow them to fail. So that's why when we are designing programming languages and databases, we have to design them by reducing the space for failure. That's why frameworks, for example, are popular, because frameworks can constrain you in a small world and tell you, if you keep doing this in a certain way, your chance of failure is minimized. So introducing functions to SQL and stuff like that, I think, was a super fucking stupid idea. Because why? Because people will find ways to ruin it. Data scientists are not programmers. They know some Python, they know some SQL, and they will find a way to write shit whenever they can. The problem is, once they leave, once somebody else has to patch for that shit, that person is in pain, right? So it's really like, you know, we should build languages and databases by minimizing the amount of stupidity people can actually do, because people will use every opportunity to write crap. That's just inherently how it is. That's just how it is. How the hell? Oh shit, okay. But, fuck, okay, wait. So it's basically, yeah, try to avoid getting into that rabbit hole, right? Because once you get there, it's hard to get out. It's hard to get out. Ah shit, this is production, right? This is production as well. Jesus Christ. Like, this is my own library. Yeah, I wrote this very long ago on I wrote this very long ago of programming. Yeah, this is our stuff. Yeah, this is I mean, and a library is also my own. Yes. This is, I'm just open sourcing it now, reps. So Yale is my own library. It's the Programming Networks one, right? You can also check it on GitHub, right? It's this thing, right? And I'm just then using, I'm just inside of there using use AJV as well, just to kind of showcase it there, right? And this is the library for validating. I think it's an amazing library. I think you guys, when I push it now, I think you guys should definitely try it, because it's one of the most coolest validation libraries I've used. And I'm not saying this because I wrote it. I think it's just super clever. And if you're using Fastify, it's even better, because now you have isomorphic validation. You can reuse the same validators in your Fastify and in your React application, which is why I did this initially, right? And it's fully unit tested. It's fully it's written in TypeScript and stuff. So definitely I advise you guys to give it a shot for sure, without a doubt. Hi Tion, good evening, buddy. How are you doing? And I'll record a YouTube video also on this and a little course. I was planning to do that over the weekend, but I ended up being with my wife and kid. But I'll do that another time. Okay, so let's do this. Program network use AJV link. So I'm gonna, yeah, motherfucker. No, so I cannot do that. I cannot do this, right? Yeah, I cannot really do this, can I? Use AJV form dev dependencies. That's still correct. Yes. So I'm gonna actually, so let's do this. I'm gonna revert this change. I'm gonna programming network AJV. That's correct. Yeah, that's also correct. I'll just do this. I'll revert this. Then I'll bump this to, because we need to publish this to npm again as a new version. Yeah, I think this order just got messed up, so that's okay. Programming network AJV, I don't think that we really did anything in the log file. We didn't install anything new, so I'm gonna discard that. We wrote a few more tests. Yes, absolutely. We introduced 2 new properties, is valid and should debounce and validate. Yes, blah, blah, blah. Beautiful. I like that a lot. We updated the type here. Beautiful. Okay. So introduced more options. So let's push this. Let's sync it. We're not going to deploy yet. What I'm actually going to do, I'm going to go to our Yale library here, and I'm going to just, I'm going to go to Program Network Organization. I'm going to go to Yale here, right? And yeah, I'm going to actually try to grab this stuff. So I'm gonna grab this thing here. I'm actually gonna go to my README for use AJV form, and I'm gonna snag those statuses here whatsoever they're wrong. So lint and test. So we don't have this one. Deploy storybook, we don't have it. We just have lint and test, right? And this here should basically be use AJV form, right? I think that should be correct. Lint and test passing. So we just show that tests are passing and linting is fine. So we're gonna add lint and test badge. So we're gonna push this bad boy there as well. So we can see that everything went fine in the CI. So yeah, so all of it passed. Beautiful. And we have the badge there now. Great, great, great. I like it a lot. Give me a second. Perfect. I love it. So good. Great. Okay. I like all that. We pushed it. Great. Let's publish this to npm. So, no, that's the wrong place. Let's say publish legacy, whatever. We need the one-time password, 2-factor authentication. You should always have that, of course. If you don't, well, it's not good. Let's hit the enter there. Okay, beautiful. Should be actually should be already deployed. That thing is failing a little bit. Let's go to my npm collaborators, my packages. I have so many packages, man. Who would have thought? 4 days ago, dream data, no, programmer network use AJV. It's this one. Beautiful. So we can see it's there. So it's deployed. Amazing. Great. Very good. Very good. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. And thank you everybody for your follows. Appreciate it. So, did we actually get any new people to sign up today? We had Mila. We had only one person sign up today. Beautiful. Miller, yeah. Follow back. And don't forget to sign up a program network, guys. Just FYI. Okay, because all of this we are kind of building because of that. Okay, so that's our library. Seems super good now. Chica, my friend, good evening. I think I'm kind of out of ideas what else to implement for now. I need to record a YouTube video, maybe improve this documentation slightly bit. I actually think that it's fine. The only thing, oh yeah, shit. We need to also redeploy our storybook, right? So let's go here. What did I actually do? package law, package JSON. So no, we don't really need this. I mean, can I ask, how do you use ChatGPT? HSN, I'm not sure what you mean. How do I use it? I use it to solve problems, if that's what you mean. Does it dull my programming? You would need also to be more a bit specific with that, right? If you mean, does it make me more lazy? Yeah, of course. But for curiosity, do you know what is the siren media type used to represent HTTP responses? Let me Google it and then I'll tell you. Because maybe if I see it, I don't. HTOS, yeah, I've implemented. So if you're talking about HTOS, I've implemented HTOS maybe 8-9 years ago when I lived in Helsingborg. HTOS basically is a way to build. Yeah, but if we're talking about HTOS, I built my own little framework based on Express maybe 8 years ago. So if you're talking about this, I'm aware, yes. And I think it's what's good about HTOS, right, is that you have previous and next page on the resources and stuff like that, whatsoever, and other things. It adds obviously overhead on your API because your API has to add the links, etc., etc. Yeah, I don't remember. It's been very long ago, Max. I might even have that repository laying somewhere. But keep in mind that, yeah, HTOS hasn't really been, at least in my experience past maybe decade, I haven't seen it much, right? I haven't seen, even though, and there's a reason for that. I think that a lot of the APIs that are built today are built by people who aren't very much experienced. So even the OpenSpec API isn't respected much. Even the basic things such as naming resources, etc., isn't really appreciated because, to be very frank with you, nobody really cares. I think that we have degraded the quality of the APIs past decade hugely, right? Because maybe 10 or 15 years ago, a lot of APIs that were built, were kind of confined to the OpenSpec API. So people were kind of cautious about how do you name your resources, how do you do certain things. Today, you know, since anybody can write an API, you're like, yeah, just write some string / something, and when I call that, I'm gonna get this, right? But one thing that I remember with HTOS, which wasn't really something that noticeable, is of course that your API has to handle the links and various other things, right? Is that useful? I don't know. I haven't used this pattern in a long time. Is it useful for you? Well, you know the response to that, right? So again, you should be making rational decisions by always asking why. So if you say, I'm gonna implement this siren thing, and I ask you why, and you're unable to rationalize about it, then you probably shouldn't do it. If you can't answer why, that probably means you shouldn't do it, right? So again, so there's Max, never forget, right? There's always a theoretical part of things, and then there's a part of do you actually need it? Because many things are nice, don't take me wrong, I 100% agree with you. Many things are absolutely nice. Oh shit, we fucked up this, give me a second. So many things are nice, and I'm with you, right? 100%. It's just the question is, do you need it? No, the question is it nice? The question is, do you need it, right? Is that gonna solve your problem or not, right? So that should be the main question, right? Because if it's nice or not, it doesn't really help you much, right? Exactly, Chica. That is true. Yeah, that is pretty much true. It's all REST. It's all REST APIs all over the place. 100%. Wow, that's a little bit strange. Is it fine now? Yeah, I think it's V. Yeah, that kind of makes no sense. But it's almost as if, yeah. So why is this isn't here? That's a little bit weird. It should be there, right? Let's take a look at our package, because the way that it's let's take a look at code here. Code dist index, I guess, right? Yes, should debounce and validate isn't indeed here. How come? That's super weird. So user defined messages, yes, so those last two things are actually not there. Did we not like deploy this or something? Do we have to publish a new version? No, but I think we did that, right? Or maybe we forgot to do one thing. Give me a second. I think I know. A little bit weird. I'm a little bit confused. Like, why are we not seeing it? Yeah, we're not seeing the latest two things. Is it cache maybe, or is it something else? No, I don't think so, right? Here's our thing. That's all good, yes. Dist index, yes. It's here now, right? Yes. But yeah, it is the dist that's problem, right? So the question now is, isn't our CI actually deploying that? Give me 2 seconds. So if I go to use AJV form, last looking, thank you very much, buddy. Introduce more options. So we're running the lint thing. Yeah, exact. So did we forgot to do some things? Create a new release. Do we actually have? Yeah, we're actually not using releases here at all. We don't really have a dist here at all, so it's a bit weird. Why? What am I forgetting to do with this? To do here? I mean, what I'm actually gonna try, just strangely, right? I mean, what can go wrong, right? Let's just bump this to an extra version, right? This, right? We sync it. Have we prematurely? Yeah. When I go to, it directs me, well, it should redirect you if you didn't complete your profile, but when you say, which error does it give you? Can you, this is very important, Loinvest, what error do you get? It redirects you there probably because you didn't complete your profile, right? And that is when you try to complete the profile, right? Let me actually read the logs. Let's take a look at our Grafana here very quickly. Because I should be able to see. Yeah, I don't see that you're getting any errors, at least not here. Actually, no, I can see it. Did your hard refresh? Can you like do the hard, which browser are you using? Yeah, I don't see any errors past 30 minutes at all. Yeah, I don't see any errors on my end here. Yeah, please, let's try to fix it, Lewin. I think this is very important. I would appreciate very much if you can tell me exactly what is the error. If you can open your console, also see the error, because you should not be getting that. Okay, this is now good. Time password, give me a second. We go to npm now. Yeah, now it's there. Okay, I don't know what happened. I think maybe we prematurely pushed before it actually before our continuous integration finished, right? Okay, so with that said, let's go to our storybook. We need to you need to first, can you try to hard refresh? Can you try to hard refresh? That's number one. And number two, if you could actually give me the error, like if you can read it from your console, because unfortunately I don't see any errors in my error reporting, so I'm not getting any error. I'm not getting anything in my with my low key Grafana and Prometheus. Yeah, I mean, I don't know when was the last time. Yeah, maybe if you could just like hard refresh or whatever and then try again, because that's very, I don't like to hear that you're having trouble signing up. That makes no sense. And the thing is, yeah, I'm not actually seeing again any errors anywhere on my end, so I don't know how to help you. I don't, like, when I go to my Grafana, you can see here last, I don't know, 1 hour, there's no errors at all. So it's a little bit weird. All right, let's push this. This should now pass, I think. This is a different project. We can actually get rid of that. So if we go to... I do both. I'm combining both there, yes. I have a global on air. I wrote my little own version of centric.js, right? Yeah, that's not good. That's honestly not good. And I don't know how to help you. Which browser are you using? Chrome. How can I help you, man? Can you try... When did you sign up? When did you check Programmer Network website last time? I mean, I have all of this data. I'm just not willing to share it publicly. Give me a second. I can check that myself. I just don't wanna share your private stuff here, right? Give me 2 seconds. It's been a while. That's probably the reason. You probably have you probably have cached service worker. Can you do this? Can you inspect Programmer Network page, go to application, and here on the top, see if you have any service worker registered? Because I think you have a very, very old cached version of the site, which is why you're having issues. You probably have like a super old cached service worker that has been removed very long ago. If you go somewhere here to service workers, see if you have any service worker registered, because I removed Progressive Web App. Yeah, so that's your problem, because so I had a Progressive Web App which introduced a lot of caching issues, and then I removed it. But I removed this literally months ago, right? So it's probably you haven't. Yeah. So what I advise you is just clear the service worker, clear the cache for Programmer Network, and I'm sure it's gonna work, right? I think, yeah, that's a huge issue, is because yeah. All right, so if we go back to, so this is deployed to thing, let's take a look at our Yale. our other libraries. This pass now. It did. Beautiful. Okay, great. So now that's all good. Beautiful. It's gonna take a while. I think if we open incognito, we should be able to see it here. I wonder if I can somehow link to this. Wait, so if I do this. Yeah, exactly. So I think I'm gonna actually link to this. So I'm gonna go to use AJV again. We don't need to redeploy it because we didn't change any code. The only thing I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna go here and update this link, right? I'm gonna click this so we can preview it. So we click this, it should open. Yeah, because again, yeah, this is cached most likely. So if I go here, it should open up, right? Yeah, okay, beautiful. Okay, and let's just say here another sentence. Make sure to click on show code. Is it show code, right? Yeah. Make click on show code. To learn how to use the hook. Okay, let me just give this to ChatGPT to beautiful. Oh my god, man, this thing always over the. Make sure to click on show code to see the usage of the hook. Okay, I think that's super. Okay, bam. Didn't commit it. Fuck. Ah, we didn't save it. Okay. Okay, bam. Great. Close this stuff. And if we go to Programmer Network and use AJV form, we should actually see it here. Here's a basic of using it. No, it actually didn't. I guess we need to wait for the CI before it's actually merged, I suppose. Yeah, update README. Amazing. Give me a second. Yeah. Okay, super. I like it a lot. All right, great. Let's wait for this. And then if I actually just once more go to my backlog here. And then, yeah, actually I have some time for some questions before I head off. So if you need any help, if some of you have any questions, now is the time to ask them, because I will head off in a couple of minutes or even immediately, depending if people actually have something to discuss, ask, comment on before I'm off. Fuck, did I? What? And it's Betty on YouTube commenting. Thank you very much. You guys on YouTube, make sure to give me a subscribe on YouTube. Thank you very much as well for watching. And I'm gonna wait still a couple of minutes just to see if there's people who actually need some help and stuff. And then we're gonna continue our journey most likely tomorrow or yeah, or after tomorrow, depending on, yeah. Okay, there are actually some questions, so let me read them. Let's not go yet. Let's see what people have to ask. Give me 2 seconds. I'm in the first period of college here in Brazil, so scared, too much thing to learn, but I'm having fun with JS. Again, as I was saying, nothing is hard and everything is hard. It's all in your head. It's all about perception. It's all about how you look at things in life. So there are people that think that everything is hard, and there are people who think that nothing is hard. So how you're gonna perceive this is really all about yourself. Nobody can help you with this. If you think that everything is hard, that's something you have to change. So nothing is really hard. It's just life. And if you think that being in school is hard, being in school, studying is hard, you will see what hard is when you have a family and people to feed and work to go to and stuff like that. So I would highly advise you, because you're very young, enjoy the school while you can and have a blast at it, because now you can enjoy yourself and hang out and drink and have fun. Not that you can't do that when you get older, of course you can, but that's the best time, probably one of the best times you're gonna have. So I highly advise you to embrace it instead of thinking it's hard. Max, my pleasure, man, of course. Thank you for being around as well. Let's wait a minute more. Let's see if anyone else has something to add. Otherwise, we'll call it a day. I'm very happy that we kind of got, I think, to the end of this. I think this library right now that we built is good. I'm happy with it. Are we going to extend it soon with something else? Probably, but we'll have to use it a bit. All right, well, guys, it seems most of you are quiet. That implicitly tells me that you are good. So what is to say? I wish you all the best. Take care of yourselves, be smart, work hard, work smart as well, and I'll catch you guys another time. Have a great one, guys, everybody. Peace out. Alex out.